Racing action on Tim's Corner Motorsports is presented by Pache Motors, the largest Ram truck dealer in Atlantic Canada. Browse their inventory online at pachemotors.com. Tranquility. Help for anxiety is only a click away. Learn more by visiting tranquility.app. Finish Line Vinyl Design, the official decal supplier of Tim's Corner Motorsports. Like them on Facebook at facebook.com/finishline vinyl design. And by CB Warren's Auto Care.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to Vidane TV. Showtime Paul Strickland Jr. here at South Boston Speedway here in Virginia for the Tim's Corner Motorsports Mid Season Classic 150. 150 laps straight up. No qualifying, no heat races, no consies, no last chance qualifying, none of that stuff. Already set the grid here for everybody that's got 25 or more starts in the Tim's Corner Motorsports Special Events. Getting ready to grid right now. Showtime Paul Strickland Jr. here, and alongside me, Mike James from The Rock. Mikey, how we doing tonight?
Well, besides your spelling error on Midsummer Classic, but let's treat it like it's summertime. It's good time here, Monday, January 25th. It's the Mid-Season Classic 150. Mike James from Eastbound International Speedway. Super pumped to get 150 laps put on the board. No qualifying, no last chance qualifiers, like you said. Straight into it. And look at that on the pole.
There you see the 38 machine of Travis Roma on the outside there, the RBR Maritime machine. And the second row on the inside, starting third, John Byron. Outside of him, Daniel Vitch in the number 29 machine.
And in row number 3, Caden Tufts in the 88. He'll have Craig Tully to the outside in the 05.
Ryan Walsh going to start the 19 machine in the 7th position. And the 09 on the outside of him, that's going to be Tony Wright.
And complete your top 10, 9th position, Chris Roma in the 83. And he'll have Byron Bartlett in the 007.
I like it. The number 42 machine, Mark Williams, starting 11th on the outside of him. The number 18 machine, the Toyota Supra of Josh Langile.
And next up, the 56, Tanton Woolridge, lighting him up the last 2 months. He's going to have Torbay native from the 41 machine, Jason Goss.
Wade Craswell right behind him. Should be Matthew Barkhouse starting on the outside, but it looks like he's missed the call. Rounding out the rest of the top 20 here, Mike Alexander, Danny Chisholm, Stephen Matthews, Corey Hall, and Nick Connors starting 21st. Keith McClellan having some computer issues. He won't be here with us tonight, but starting 23rd, Brett Suggs, Brad Eddy, Tony Stevens, Riley Duncan, Craig Kenny, Craig McDonald, Colin Matthews, and Brandon Campbell. 28 drivers looks like they're going to make the grid. Keith McClellan missing the start, as well as Matthew Barkhouse, but still going to be a jam-packed, action-packed night here at South Boston Speedway. Mike?
Yeah, it's going to be a big night. You know, here at South Boston, they call it the Sobo, 14-degree banks in the corners, 12 degrees on the front stretch. You know, some of the top drivers in the TCM Special Events are going to be vying for the big win here tonight for the Mid-Season Classic. We got a busy week ahead. This Wednesday will be championship night for the Oxford Series, so this is a goodie here on a Monday night.
Absolutely, a great series coming to an end. 200 laps at Oxford Plains. Already wrecking here in the back. Looks like Byron Bartlett's around in the 007 machine. Already going to pull up that Raise Energy Drink instant replay. Find out what went down.
Oh, well, we're still racing. I don't have a screen.
Taking a quick look here. It appears that the 5 car of Craig Tully is getting around here. We'll get that technical difficulty fixed there for you in just a second there, Mikey. But 3 wide, there you see it. The 19 gives him a little bit of a tap, and the 09 finishes him off, sends Tully around, and everybody kind of parts the seas. Big-time contact, nose-to-nose there with the 97 of Riley Duncan, and everybody else seems to avoid the wreck without any kind of problem. Still the 13 car of Dave Cassidy up front. So under caution for the first time here on lap number 4 at South Boston Speedway. Cassidy, Roma, Byron, the top 3.
Hey, I can see. I'm in blimp view. Look at that. Dave Cassidy on the front row with Travis Roma on the tail.
Sometimes technology's got its demons. It's a great tool to have, and we're very excited to have stuff like that here at Vidane TV, but half the times it doesn't freaking work. But got her all sorted out now. Lap number 4, crossing the stripe, lap number 5. First caution here tonight. Tough break for a couple of drivers in the back. Craig Tully and Riley Duncan getting some nose damage, but looks like they went down pit road, came back out with a couple of repaired fenders, and they're going to restart. Looks like Craig Tully back in the 26th position. Riley Duncan didn't actually pit that time. He's going to restart 17th.
And for those home just tuning in, this is South Boston. They call it SOBO. Back in 1971, Cup used to race here. Busch Series in the early 2000s, but now you see the Advanced Auto Parts Series as well as K&N Series, which is now ARCA. Also the Modifieds race here. So 10,000 seats. There you see the flash of bulbs. Full house here tonight for TCM's Mid Season Classic. As the lights are out on the page truck, Cassidy will bring it around and pace them around 3 and 4. To get the hammer here, Cassidy will get the start.
Really looking forward to some good green flag racing here. These drivers, in order to qualify for this event, you have to have at least 25 starts in the Tim's Corner Motorsports Special Events Series, and a lot of drivers here, a lot of recognizable names, and you can look all the way throughout the field as they're 2x2, pretty much all the way through the first 5, 6, 7 rows. Lots of big names, lots of household names here in the Tim's Corner Motorsports division. It looks like we got a little bit of a mix-up towards the back. Well, a little bit of a bigger mix-up towards the back. Caution number 2 on lap number 8.
Get it reset.
We'll pull up the old instant replay here again, brought to you by Ray's Energy Drink. And be sure to check out repsports.com. Use that promo code VidaneTV. Get yourself 15% off everything that they've got up there on the store. They've got the pre-workout mix. They've got the sleep aid, which is a very good, actually works very, very well. I've used it a couple of times here on some of these late night broadcast shows. And just looking through the, looks like we got a little bit of tangly situation going on with the 007 car again, pointed in the wrong direction. It's going to be Byron Bartlett, and we'll see it here on the instant replay. We're going to take a look again from the blimp view, and you can see the 007 up top, 09 down below, and 07 goes up, scrapes the wall just a little bit, comes back down, and gets a little bit of a shot from the green and white car and gets sent on around by the Chisholm machine of the 87. And there you can see a couple of drivers, 92, 65 going on by with no issues there. So good news there. Not too big of a hit there, Mike, but definitely not what you want to do, getting yourself reset in the back of the pack.
Well, last night was an epic night as we had the qualifier for tonight. A lot of cautions throughout that 100-lap main event, and we're seeing it at the early parts here. This could be a major now with pit road activity. The only person we've seen on pit road so far has been Matthew Barkhouse, so obviously some damage from earlier on the early part of the cautions that we've seen. So Cassidy still in control here. 11 laps have been burned off, so we haven't seen a lot of green laps just yet, but once they get going and get single file, the freight train will be coming around. Compared to last night, Paul, bigger field, so this could get a little bit more hairier than what we seen last night.
Yeah, for sure. Bigger field and lots of different experience levels here throughout the field. Had a lot of these drivers have started quite a few races here with Tim's Corner Motorsports, so usually they're pretty good about racing with each other because they know how everybody drives. But one of the big one-off shows here, the Mid Season Classic, and a good restart there for Dave Cassidy. Gets the whole shot in front of Caden Tufts in the 88. And there you can see the 38 of Travis Roma trying to close the deal there on the bottom side. Big wiggle from the 88, but still single file for the top 3 cars.
And another caution's going to come
Holy
out
smokes.
here as they stack him back up. That's the 76 machine of Wade Craswell. He's been involved with this one, but you were saying Caden Tufts, a little wobble there, trying to hit the bottom in front of Chris Roma. So,
yeah, a little bit of a wobble and a little bit of calamity going on here. We can use the quote from number 92, Tony Stevens from Pit Road TV.
Oh.
We're stacking them up. And you can see coming up right here, heading into the corner, is where the big wreck happens, and a lot of drivers are just kind of plowing right in there. You can see the 87 to 41, 29 of Daniel Vitch is involved as well, and we're absolutely going to back that up and take one more peek at it, and find out who made the contact.
On the 41 of Goss.
Beat you to it. Looks like the 29 and the 18 get together a little bit. 29 gets in there just a little bit too hot, gives him a little bit of a shove, and 18 didn't really give him too much room there, so a couple of other cars involved. There you see the 72 scooting on by on the high side, no problem. The 198 as well. There you can see Mike Alexander, the 75, out there in 15th. That's not where we usually see Magic Mike Alexander, but he's still got plenty of time. Lap number 16 of 150 on the board.
Still lots of time. Couple cars on pit road. Jason Goss checking in after that incident, as well as I believe there was one other down on pit road, but now back on the race surface. 16 laps now burned off through yellow flags. This is not a good foreshadow of what we're going to expect tonight.
Yeah, in a lot of cases, Mike, cautions breed cautions, and we've noticed a little bit of a trend here with South Boston last night. We had a couple of real quick cautions and a long green flag run, and then a few cautions to kind of close out the night, but it was definitely far from boring here at South Boston. Still up front, Cassidy leading, Tufts second, and Travis Roma there in that RBR machine in the number 3 spot.
I believe they're just waiting for those cars to come around the pace truck, and now they are sent around to the tail here. Matthew Barkhouse now getting on the hammer. Lights are out once again. We are going to get set here on lap number 18 going into 19. Cassidy will have the hammer. Keep an eye on that 88 of Caden Tufts. Had a difficult time hitting the bottom there in front of Travis Roma, so Roma's going to try to shut the door here, but great launch from the 13 of Cassidy as he goes up to the top and gives the 88 a little assistance here as single file for our top 5.
Roma brothers nose to tail there, Travis and Chris. Oh, just as we say that, they save it. 3 wide. Nope, they didn't save that. 057 up into the wall. It looks like he may. Nope, caution comes out once again.
Oh, now they're stacking. Oh, brother.
Gonna need a couple of raised energy drinks just to keep up with all these cautions here. We'll back it up one more time, take another peek. Big pile up here. Looks like the 09 gets the big one already here at lap 21 in South Boston. Looks like the 09 car gets into the back of the 057, and well, you can see for yourself what happens after that. The 42, there's Tanton Woldridge in the 56, Mark Williams there in the 42. These drivers 3 wide. They save it just a little bit. Tanton gets just a little bit down into the 057, and drivers trying to avoid the wreck. There you see, well, pretty much everybody. Trick Tully almost on his roof. Back down on 4 tires.
Parking going on there.
Absolutely, and man, they're still down there getting everything kind of stacked up. And there you can see Craig Tully slamming it in reverse and trying to get that thing righted. We're going to take a look on board of the Craig Tully machine here in the 5 car, and you can see there's nowhere to go out front. Real narrow racetrack. There's a little bit of puff of smoke, and now all of a sudden he's turned around. He's waving there to Tony Stevens. Now he's waving to somebody's tire there in the 54. I believe that's Nick Codner. And then he lands right back, and he's got to wait at this point. There you can see the leader over in the background. They're waiting for these guys to get off the track. So tough break for a lot of these guys in the back. A lot of damage all the way around, but looks like we are going to get it reset with about lap 26 here on the board.
Lots of laps burnt already here under caution. Lots of yellow flag runs here. Hopefully they can get it going. I think if it continues like this, officials may get them to start single file, which is going to be wild. But we've seen that in the past. Hopefully we don't see that and they get it going. It's always wonderful to see the 2 wide action on these restarts. But it's going to be Dave Cassidy once again. And probably one of the only cars on the track that don't have any damage.
Yeah, but it's still early on here, Mike. I think we're going to end up seeing, just like last night, there were a lot of cars, almost the entire field other than the front couple of cars with damage all the way around the race cars. And going to be, looks like we're up for a little bit of a battle of attrition here tonight. 25 laps on the board, 125 to go. Lining them up 2 by 2. The lights are off on the pace car. We're getting ready for another restart.
And at some point tonight, the pit road is going to be engaged here, and we'll see what happens in strategy, whether we're going to see some green flag stops or we're going to see them on cautions. But let's get it going here as the 13 gets it going. Travis Rowan, a little bump to the back, but nice and clean. Too wide right through the field here as we're looking in at the 198 now. Back to the 13. That's Dave Cassidy on the front with Caden Tufts to the high side.
Side by side for the lead. Tufts on the outside. He's going to get the run just a little bit of a wiggle there. That's going to give the advantage back to the 13 of Dave Cassidy, but the 88 able to make it stick on the high side. Travis Roma there in the 38 machine. He is in the catbird seat, so to speak. A little bit of contact between the 13 and the 88, and you can see the 88 machine real loose in the back end of that race car, so he's going to have to be careful of that. Makes the clear, and the 13 falls into the tire tracks of the number 88.
It looks like the drivers are fighting those cars coming around the corners, as we haven't seen a lot of green flag laps here. So hopefully that changes over the next 5 or 6 laps as we get a little heat in the tires. But having a peek at Travis Roma, look at that. Corey Hall is the man on the move. Corey Hall, Craig McDonald now entering the top 5 picture. As you see that separation, Chris Roma's top 6 have separated from the pack.
There you can see Corey Hall, a little bit of nose damage on the front of that machine. May very well have used that chrome horn a time or two to get himself up into that 4th position, but holding on in the top 5 so far. And there you can see Craig McDonald led almost every single lap last night in the Mid Season Classic Qualifier 100 laps here at South Boston. I believe he led 99, and unfortunate events occurred where he got taken out on the last lap by somebody who was about 30 laps down. So he did start tonight with a provisional, and Brett Suggs ended up winning last night's race. So he is in this field here as well.
I believe it was 99 3/4 he led. that move, Jordan Rushton on the final turn took out the 98, and unfortunately, hopefully all those wounds are licked and everything's okay, and moving on into the future. But your new leader, the 88, Caden Tufts, with Dave Cassidy trying to hang on to that position, but Travis Roma is the one that's going to be looking for position now on the 13.
Yeah, it seems like Craig McDonald has licked his wounds. He started 29th on the field here tonight. 28th, check that, and he's currently in that 5th position. So really worked his way up into the top 5. He's got Chris Roma on his back bumper right now. He's got a mirror full of him in that red and black Royal Volt machine. But the top 6 cars so far at this in the race, single file. And you can see those brake rotors glowing red hot.
Well, looking at the top 6, they got about a full second on Riley Duncan, who's the leader of the second pack here. Duncan, Brad Eddy, and Steve Matthews, Mike Alexander brewing back there in the second pack. But bit of a separation, a full second separation between our two groups. Top 6, like you said, Caden Tufts leading them around. Chris Roman trying to stay within, but some heavy hitters on the front row right now.
Single file for the top 10, and you can see the second group is still together, but a little bit racier back here. A couple of 2 wide sections in these race cars. There you see Mark Williams down below the 198. Brett Suggs working his way up from the back of the pack there in the 33 on the right-hand side of your screen, working his way up, trying to make the best out of that qualifying effort last night, winning that race, and moving on into tonight's feature.
Yeah, real race right now is at mid-pack. One guy we haven't talked about a lot is Pit Road TV's very own, the 92, Tony Stevens, who took a top 3 last night. He was one that was kind of like the black sheep. He was back all the way to the back there, made himself into the top 10 late in the race last night, and then wound up on the top 3 podium. So we'll keep an eye on the 18th position of the 92, Tony Stevens, as he works his way through. But a lot of stout drivers here tonight at Sobo, so it's going to be difficult to come up through. And some of those cars, a lot of damage from these earlier cautions, but green flag going. Hopefully I don't curse it here, but we had, oh, well, there we go. I just cursed it.
There you
Cars
go.
off the pace. There's the 90. I should have shut my mouth.
The number 90 of Craig Kenny and Mark Williams, the number 42, finding the inside wall there on the pit road. And we're going to back that up for a Raise Energy instant replay. And we do realize it seems like the stream might be a little bit on the choppy side here this evening. It seems like we're having some connection issues here at Vidane TV HQ. So we're going to get on the horn with Comcast first thing in the morning and figure out what the heck the deal with that is. But bear with us. And worst case scenario, be sure to check out the replay over on YouTube. But there you can see the 87 had a pretty good view of that incident. We'll back that up one more time, get you a better angle. The 90 and the 42 running side by side. The 90 gets up into the 42, kind of skates him around. And the 87, great heads-up driving there. He's able to get right around on the outside.
Some beautiful-looking race cars tonight. Some new paint schemes for some of these drivers. A lot of these drivers we've seen throughout the pandemic since last March. A lot of iRacing over the summer, or actually the spring, and then took a little bit of break to get back to the real racetrack. But glad to be back here in the iRace simulator with the Vidane TV crew, as well as Tim's Corner Motorsports. Lots of activity still to come in the future, as we got a bit of time before we head back to the track. But Tony Stevens was saying last night that he's going to be quite busy in the next couple of weeks as they get ready for the Winter Nationals. The Winter Nationals down in Florida, the Legends Bandolero Series. So lots of tarmac racing coming up in just a couple of weeks.
Absolutely, and racing starting to kick off just a little bit here in the Americas, and really looking forward to it. Stafford Motor Speedway finally announcing their schedule. They are pretty much sticking with the 25% audience capacity, so got to get your tickets early, and you got to make sure that you show up to the track on June 11th, Friday night, having Vidane Racing Championship night, having the two champions, last year's champion Jarrett Bolliard and this year's champion to be determined. They're going to be running in the street stock race courtesy of Rent a Race Car, bringing a couple of rentals to the track, and really excited for that. We're going to have the championship belts there, and probably a couple of cold beers, and I say a couple, I mean probably a lot more than that.
How about a couple of cold beers on Daytona 500?
Yeah,
That's
looking
coming up
forward to the
around the
Daytona
corner.
500. Lots of different changes. Silly season in full effect. So looking forward to the 2021 NASCAR season to get kicked off. And here we go. Racing and already bumping off of each other up
hang
front.
on to it. Man, Travis
they
Roma.
almost collected it.
They're pinballing off each other. We got cars into the walls. I hope that's not Tony Stevens, but 3 wide now down, and that's going to continue to brew. And looks like, is that Nick Codner is around, or is that Johnny Byron? Not quite sure. My screen's a little snowstormy down here in Newfoundland, so connection error up here on the top side.
Yeah, that was Nick Codner finally getting the worst of that, and that wreck happened for about an entire lap. Take a look at the number 29 of Daniel Vitch on the outside, and you can see the 18 gets low there. They get 3 wide between the 18, the 54, and the 15. Matthew Barkhouse making it in, and there's some big contact from the 54 and the 18, and he keeps on wrecking back towards the back of the pack. So kind of bumper cars, playing a little bit of, what was that game called, Slingo?
Pinball.
So a lot of tore up
Damn.
cars towards the back of the pack, but man, oh man, starting to click these laps off, and had a little bit of a green flag run feel there, but still working our best to get these drivers squared away, and we'll see where we end up. You did jinx it. You jinxed it right off the rip, bud.
Well, a lot of activity on pit road. Josh Langell, Mark Williams, Tant Woolridge, Jason Goss, Steve Matthews checking in with the crews. About half the field have checked in once already tonight. Nick Codner now taking a peek down pit road, assessing the damage from that last caution. But we still got plenty of laps to turn here. The leaders, I guess, strategy will start to come into play. When do you go down? And will the rest of the field go with you if the leaders do go? So there's going to be a big question of position and how many people are on the lead lap. So I guess Caden Tuff's going to hang on tight here. Like I said, still plenty of time left in this race. So strategy will be a factor here tonight. But Travis Roma is going to sneak up there to the outside. It'll be Craig McDonald, Corey Hall in row number 2. Dave Cassidy now moving back to position number 7. He's going to line up with Riley Duncan. And in row number 3, we skipped over them. Chris Roma and Brad Eddy will line up here.
And we found the connection issue. It is on our end here of Vidane TV. Apparently, Xfinity has been capping the. They've got a monthly cap now on the data usage that you can use. So we'll be making some phone calls early in the morning. And we do apologize for the choppy stream here tonight, but we're going to try and make the best of it for the remainder of tonight's race. We should get it squared away here by tomorrow night for the RBR Maritime race. But back up front, 88 down low, 38 up high, and there you can see the 98 and the 83 right behind them in row number 2. Whole shot goes to the 88 of Caden Tuffs. Great jump there. Already has about 3 car lengths over the second place, Travis Roma.
Yeah, Craig McDonald came up there and made a huge move there to get that position, but Corey Hall almost lost a spot there, but maintained composure, now slides back in there. But one car in particular we want to keep an eye on is that 11th position, Brett Suggs, who had a beautiful night last night, was running in P2 the whole 100 laps behind Craig McDonald, so he's usually a late bloomer here, but we'll see what he has for us in the 33 machine as he tries to work it up. He's got Mike Alexander and Danny Chisholm in front of him. So lots of stout drivers in the top right through the whole field, to be honest.
And there you can see the top 10 pretty much single file all the way throughout. A lot of damaged race cars towards the back half of that top 10. But there you can see the battle for 11th and 99. Brandon Campbell started shotgun on the field. Back there with another starter from the back of the field, the 33 of Brett Suggs, last night's winner there on the last lap of the 33, making his way up towards the front in that Brett Suggs Racing and Marketing LLC machine. And be sure to check his, just put up a couple of cool items in his race car shop. Be sure to check him out on Facebook, Brett Suggs Racing and Marketing LLC. A couple of koozies up there for like $5 or $6, so that's pretty cool.
Campbell almost like a ping pong machine between, I believe that's Barkhouse behind him and Brett Suggs, 2 big runners here. Campbell was checking up behind. Looks like he's got a fast machine tonight, so we'll see what he has for us as he had to check up there a couple times behind the 33 machine as they stack up here in the mid part of the field. Like I was saying earlier, there is a ton of talent throughout this whole field. Josh Langile, like Colin Matthews down there in 23rd position. Steve Matthews, all these guys that are at the tail here are some of the guys that could easily win this race. So it's going to be an exciting night here on a Monday night for Vidane TV and TCM. So we'll see how it plays out as we get close to the halfway point. I believe we're counting down 65 laps completed.
87 machine of Danny Chisholm, not giving any room to the number 97 of Riley Duncan. Gets on right by and sticks Riley out on the high side, and he's going to drop a couple of positions. There you see Brett Suggs in the number 33. He's going to go by, and you can see the 15 of Matthew Barkhouse going to try and fill that spot as well. Try and train right on around the number 97 machine.
Well, Campbell's going to try to close that door on Riley Duncan.
And Campbell moving on up. A lot of heavy damage there on the Speedway. Miramichi, number 99C, might have found a little bit of a back bumper of a race car earlier on in the number 99C car. The C stands for race car, according to Brandon, before the race.
Well, Tony Stevens now entered the picture now on the 97. The 97 was able to dip down and close the door there as he was falling down a few positions, but Stevens, we're having a peek at the 92, the Pit Road TV, big superstar here tonight. Broke his season out last night with a big top 3.
Yeah, started in the 25th position and currently running 14th, and you can see doing pretty well so far. A little bit of damage on the left side of the race car, but other than that, everything else seems to be relatively straight, so that's good news there. And up front, still taking a peek there. 88, Caden Tufts leading Travis Roma. Those 3 cars, you could run a chain through each one of them, and it probably wouldn't move too much. There you see Craig McDonald, very strong here at South Boston. He is up in that 3rd position. He wants more. He wants to move up into the 2nd spot and take that lead spot and try and make up for last night's calamity.
There's been a bit of a hide-and-go-seek between Travis Roma and McDonald. They've exchanged positions quite often, but Caden Tufts hasn't flopped at all throughout this course of this race, and he's been the leader for quite some time. But now Travis Roma looking to take a peek to the inside, could make it door-to-door, side-by-side as he tries to stick it in there. Craig McDonald give him a little bit of a boot ski to get him up there, and Travis Roma may not get there.
Almost, but not quite. Caution comes out once again here at the South Boston. There you can see the 54 of Codner around once again, and still trying to get that thing righted. And the tough to do here at a narrow racetrack at South Boston Speedway, but we'll pull up the Rays Energy Drink Instant Replay and find out exactly why the 54 is looking at race cars and oncoming traffic. It looks like it might have been a little bit of a contact issue with the number 5 of Craig Tully, and we can see the 54 is where we're going to focus on. Craig Tully right on that yellow line, comes all the way down and just makes contact with the back bumper of the 54, sends him around. Tanton Woldridge gets a little bit of a piece of it. 41 gets a bigger piece of it, and there you can see the rest of the field kind of slowing down to avoid any kind of contact there. So tough break for Codner. Not the first time he's been pointed in the wrong direction tonight, and it looks like he's got quite a bit of damage on that machine there, Mike.
Yeah, and then no fault to the 54. He's been involved by the 41, Jason Goss, both part of DC Auto out of Torbay, Newfoundland. His partner, he got tagged there as he backed up into him. So both cars from the DC Auto shop get a bit of damage here on lap number 75. That is the cross flags as we are now on lap 77. And oh, there you go. That's Riley Duncan getting tagged.
Yeah, getting tagged under caution. It looks like the 99 of Brandon Campbell checked up just a little bit, and nowhere for Tony Stevens to go but to send him on around. But doesn't look like the damage is too bad. Just crossing halfway, it looks like, if my math serves me right. And still up front, it's going to be the 88, Caden Tufts. He was under a hard challenge there, the 98 of Craig McDonald from that 3rd position. But didn't quite have enough time before the caution came out to get around him, so we'll see what happens on this restart. Probably going to restart on lap number 80.
Couple cars on pit road. Tanton Woolridge checking in. He's in the 17th position. He's going to fall back to 20th there now. Nick Codner also checking in. He's going to go almost scratch to the rear with Craig Tully. He'll be in the 26th spot. So this is where pit road becomes a factor here, because we got a lot of fresh tires on the track.
That we do. Taking a quick peek at the timing and scoring. Looks like the top 12 stayed out, but there's some pretty much new tires scattered out in the second half of the field. Still 28 cars in this field. Check that, 27 cars. Mark Williams, the 42, has retired. Ryan Walsh and Keith McClellan also no longer in this race, but still 27 cars strong. 20 of those cars on the lead lap, and about a dozen of them or so towards the back have fresh tires.
And the lucky dog recipient, if we do have another caution, will go to the 57 of John Byron. But lights are out on the pace car. It's going to be Caden Tufts in the 88 with Travis Roma to the outside. Take a peek at this restart. Let's see if the top side can sneak to the bottom here. Craig McDonald going to try to shut the door. He's got his teammate to the outside, so you might see some work between each other. But McDonald gets a good jump here, and Travis Roma, it's going to be hung out to dry to the outside.
Craig McDonald wants to go. He slammed into the back of the 88 car, says, let's go. I want to get up to the front, and I can't do that if I'm side by side. So there you see the first 2 cars right in line. Craig McDonald using every inch of the bottom of that racetrack, trying to get up to Tufts, trying to see if he can maybe move him out of the way or get him to make a mistake. No chance Craig McDonald's going to go on the high side. He wants to take him down low.
And we've seen a lot of this over the course of the Sobo is, just get them a little antsy there, get up underneath them, and no choice but Caden Tufts going to go to the high side here, opens the door. Here comes Craig McDonald, and the 98 as he takes over the lead here on the bottom. But Caden Tubbs fighting back. If I was Caden, I'd almost want to slide back in there. Lots of racing here. I don't know if you want to get into a wreck here in this part of the race. Beautiful job by Caden Tubbs, showing patience here now. Drops behind Craig McDonald, but bit of a battle brewing back there with Travis Roma as we got a couple of hard chargers here. Here comes Mike Alexander to 75, and look at that, the brother, our heart thou brother, Matthew Barkhouse, the brother of Mike Alexander, coming with him.
Missed the start of the race just by a few moments, but still made it to the show. And there you can see Matthew Barkhouse, the number 15, Xander Signs machine. He is in that 7th position right behind Mike Alexander, trying to see if they can maybe work their way up towards the front, but that is a stacked top 5. McDonald, Tufts, Roma, Hall, Roma. That's a stacked top 5 to try and break into.
Like I said, big field throughout the hole, but we got caution here on 88. That's going to bring some more damage. Looks like John Byron may have a bit of this, but we'll bring back our friends from Raise Energy. Oh, that's Nick Codner
cannot catch a break. Looks like Codner's finally going to take that thing down onto pit road and call it good for the evening. A little bit of a flippy-do here. We're going to back it up just a little bit more so we can get all the action and pull up the Raise Energy Drink instant replay. And there you can see Craig Tully coming in from the bottom side, and a little bit of puff of smoke out front. Tanton Woldridge slows up just a little bit, and it looks like it was a 76 car of Wade Craswell that the initial caution came out for. And we'll pull that up. Check that. The 09 and the 41. There you see it up in front of your screen there, up towards the top. We're actually going to change the view so we can get a little bit of loving for everybody here. And you can see the 09 gets just a little tap to the 41. Everybody else checks up behind them, and the Outback car, the 76, just kind of backs up into racing traffic and just catches the 54 just right, flips him up on his lid, and gets him stuck on the pit road upside down. That's not where you want to be.
I think he just broke his TV.
He broke something for sure. Lots of cars down pit road this time by as we were looking at the caution. It appears pretty much everybody came down pit road at this point.
We're still seeing the leaders not on pit road, though.
Nope, just kidding.
Top 6, actually. And Suggs has not reported. Dave Cassidy hasn't. Tony Stevens and Daniel Vitch. So strategy trying to stay out. Are they going to come down in the next little bit? I don't know if they'll have enough fuel to make it to the whole 150, would they?
It'll definitely be close, but drivers antsy to get back going. Lights are still on the pace truck, but they're already trying to line up 2 by 2. They want some green flag action, just like the fans want some green flag action. And again, we do apologize for the buffering and the choppy screen here tonight. Apparently, Xfinity has started capping connections, how much you can transfer monthly, and being the end of the month here on Verdane TV, streaming 5-6 nights a week, it seems like we've hit that cap. So we do apologize for that. We're going to do our best to make it through the end of this broadcast and get everything sorted out here for the remainder of the year, really. But green flag is out. Craig McDonald with a huge jump. 88 spins his tires, gets to the back end of that car, all sorts of wobbly. And there you can see Chris Roma trying to work his way into the 3rd position, down low underneath Corey Hall in the 83.
Mike Alexander, Corey Hall to the outside. Matthew Barkhouse now coming up to the inside. He's got Travis Roma and Chris Roma in front of him, but look, the outside still working here. A bit of grip. But look at that. Caden Tubbs goes to the high side, closes the door on Corey Hall. Here comes Chris Roma in the 83.
Back bumper to bumper. Suggs up into the wall. Doesn't look like the damage is too bad. But he is definitely off the pace just a bit. He's going to try and fall back in line, but definitely dropping like a rock at this point. A little bit of an issue. Got up into the wall last lap, and seems like he's got it all right, pointed in the right direction, but stuck on that high side. Pretty much running a train down on the bottom side there, Mike.
Yeah, and we're getting close to that 2/3 mark here as we get approaching the 100 lap position. This is where I believe we're going to start seeing these tires fall off on our leaders. So a lot of fresh tires from the back. Looking at the time on the score clocks here, Some pretty quick cars on the backside. Byron Bartlett actually throwing down a fast lap back there. So the 007, one of the old crafty veterans, in here tonight. So we'll see what he has for us. But look at this. Caden Tufts battling right now with Corey Hall.
Yeah, the battle is for second because the leader, Craig McDonald, has checked out. Pretty much what we saw last night in the qualifier before. McDonald got taken out on the last lap by a lap car, but picked up right where he left off. Just started in the back of the field here this evening and worked his way all the way up through the field, pretty much showing that he is the man to beat here at South Boston, and with authority already has a second over the battling Caden Tufts and Corey Hall. And there you can see Chris Roma still right in there. Pretty much second on through fifth. Sixth place there, Matthew Barkhouse, right in a single line. The action picks up back here in the 7th and 8th position. Danny Chisholm, Mike Alexander, Biden for position, Brad Eddy, and Brett Suggs right behind them.
I haven't seen a lot from Mike Alexander, but he has come up through the field quite a bit, and he's got a bit of shake and bake action. Himself and his brother Matthew Barkhouse in position number 6 and 7. They could be a factor, just saving it till the right point. And but our top 6, we've pretty much seen most of the night, or top 5. Travis and Chris Hall, a teammate of Craig McDonald. Caden Tufts, the only one up there, but kind of by himself. Not quite sure his teammates in Atlantic Canada, but he is down now about a second and a quarter on Craig McDonald. As like you said, Craig McDonald, check it out to a new zip code. As get almost a quarter track here now as he continues to surge here. Something to prove after last night. Craig McDonald on a mission right now.
For sure. You can see the battle for second is starting to heat up. There's 5 cars that can take it on any given lap, and you can see it's led by Corey Hall, Caden Tufts out front. Chris Roma right in the quarter panel. Looks like gets in a little bit of contact with Caden Tufts. He gets up into the wall. That's going to slow him down just enough to get that 83 to sneak on in there. He's going to move up to the 3rd position, try and track down Corey Hall. That pretty much drove